Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We've got a brand new range of woods to review for you, and this particular video will concentrate on the driver, and it's the new range from TrackMan, and it's the Exotics, and it's the new C721 drive. It looks a very good looking driver. First impressions, it looks very impressive. So excited to test this. A lot of technology to talk about. We're going to run through that in this particular video. Also, we're going to hit it. We're going to see some data numbers on its performance and also giving you my personal feedback of the looks and the feel of this particular club. That is an absolute bullet. Okay, so new Exotic C721, and as I say, first impressions looked really cool. Lots of technology to talk about. I reviewed the last year's Exotics driver, and I was really impressed with both the looks, the feel, and also the performance of the golf club. I know these are massive in the US, maybe not so big over here in UK, maybe Europe. But it is a very good looking driver. So impressions down by the golf ball. It's quite a large footprint, you know, from that front to the back. There is quite a lot to look at, but it sits beautifully square. And we've got this lovely design with this carbon in the toe and the heel, which we're going to talk a little bit more about as we go through. But I'm going to get this one underway. This is a 9.5 degree, and I've got this set at 9 degrees. So we've got adjustable shaft or neck sleeve to really dial in loft, face angle, and also the lie. And that is an absolute bullet to open up with. So I've just got a little bit of a different view on screen for you in this particular video, and I'd love to hear your feedback if this is a good thing or a bad thing. Just a little bit more of a side-on view of the down the range ball flight, and I'm also going to start showing you maybe a little bit of strike, because we know how strike is really important in terms of how the ball launches and spins, and obviously the efficiency and everything like that. So you may be seeing that particular one just slightly low in that phase, pretty central strike, touch low, but the spin didn't jump massively at 2,400 and really good ball speed at 165. So the very visual technology, the first one we're going to talk about, and really the big talking point around this driver, is this Ridgeback technology. So as you'll see from the on the top view of the crown of the golf club, we've got this sort of darked out gloss section. So this is a titanium spine, obviously runs from the face of the club to the back edge and links in then with the titanium sole plate. So that spine is creating stability, is what TrackMan is saying, and also creating a hotter ball speed on those heel and toe sort of miss hits. So a little bit helping that stability of the club, creating more energy back into that golf ball for more ball speed. So with that spine there, what you can probably see now is this beautiful carbon, grey carbon section, that toe and the heel. So obviously that's titanium is replaced, carbon added. That is going to save much more weight. So there's 19% more carbon in this model of Exotics than we've seen in previous models from TrackMan. So quite a big section there. So obviously that saving of the weight is then redistributed in the golf club in a low back CG. So we can see this weighted screw, silver weighted plate at the back section. For me, that's probably the most or the furthest back I've seen it in any brand of driver. It's literally right on that back edge. So that's obviously going to create a very deep CG location, increasing that MOI and that forgiveness. Okay, that's a good hit again. Good ball speed around that 165, probably club head speed just short of 112 is where I'm probably at the moment. Maybe get that going a little bit up, maybe into that, maybe touching 113 on my good days, but really good sort of numbers there, very solid. I think first instincts there was the sound of the club is really, it's just right on there for me personally. You know, it's not too loud, it's not too muted, it's a positive crack. I think it's just such a good sounding golf club. Oh, that's a good hit. Fraction on that. It felt like a tiny bit toe. Oh no, it wasn't, it was actually plumb middle. Again, good ball speed, 165. So consistent with that ball speed there, a little bit low on that spin. That particular shot just short of that 280 on the carry. Great smash at 148. So Other big technology to talk about, we've seen this in the previous model, in the E21 I think it was, is the diamond face. This is diamond face 2.0. So we've got like diamond pattern, as the name suggests, behind the club face, which is variable thicknesses. So 7 different thicknesses. It's like an interweave of diamond shapes and basically create little pockets of sort of trampoline effect ultimately on across the whole club face. So again, it's all about creating ball speed on those missed hits as well as the good hits. Just leaking a tiny bit up that right hand side, but not by much, as you can see on the screen. Again, that ball speed is in there, 165, very consistent, that ball speed. So that strike was just a fraction here, which just gave me that little bit of left to right shape. But great carry there, 293, get that right launch for me, that 12, good spin in that 2.5 area. So as we mentioned before, we've got this back weight, which for me is rammed right on that back edge of that sole plate. I've never seen one as far back in that sole as this, and with that larger footprint, again, that is going to move it as far back as it possibly can. It comes as a standard 10 gram weight, that can be interchanged. It obviously depends maybe on shaft length and everything like that in terms of getting swing weighting right. I think you can additionally purchase 5 grams, 15 grams and 18 gram weights, and obviously the 10 comes as a standard. Does sit, as I say, great down by that golf ball, the black gloss sort of spine section, and then with that little bit of carbon just breaks up the head. Maybe for some people, maybe a little bit busy with the contrast there. I don't mind that. I think that spine actually gives it quite a nice little alignment aid, to be honest. Obviously you've got the little E logo for the tour edge on the top as a bit of an alignment aid as well. Again, that just sounds and feels so solid. Again, just struck that a touch heel, just peeled a fraction up that right hand side again, but again, super numbers. So that spin just going up slightly with that slight heel strike, but again, getting out there a good distance. Love the sound of that. So availability wise in these comes 9.5, 10.5 and also a 12 degree, and the left hand version is available in 10.5 degree. We've got adjustability and there's a lot of options here, so you can go up or down up to 2 degrees of loft. So this 9.5 can go to 7.5, but also can go up to as far as 11.5, and you've got some lie angle changes there from 59 degree to 62 degrees, so you can make it a little bit more upright if you suffer a little bit of that left to right shape for any of your right handers out there. So quite a lot of adjustability where you can dial it in to really suit a certain individual's club delivery and shot pattern. Oh, and that's bombed. That's a beautiful ball flight. Very straight, slight toe, to be slightly lower maybe on that spin number, 290, carry with a good launch of 12 degrees. Absolutely beautiful. Right, okay, so clearly that 9.5 looks to be suited very nicely to me. So what I'm just doing now, just gonna have a little play around with this neck sleeve. So I've upped the loft by 1 degree to 10.5, and I've also changed the lie up to 61.5, so that's 2.5 degrees more upright. So for me, this should create a little bit more of a draw bias on the golf club. Increasing that lie, you know, that toe going more upwards, making it more upright, we'll typically try and get that face to sort of close down a little bit more and get that ball work and touch more of that left-hand side. So that setting on here is U+. As I said, there's a lot of other settings which I'll pop them up on screen, you can have a little look at. So as I've just increased that loft by 1 degree, made the club a little bit more upright, I can physically see the toe just up more, and that now that club face is just slightly more closed. So it doesn't really suit my eye now because I don't like clubs sat too close, but obviously just for demonstration purposes. Let's see how this changes things. That's a good strike, and that has just moved a smidge, literally a smidge down that left hand side. So you can see that launch angle just increased slightly there, 13.4, but spin still fairly controlled at 2.6, which is good. So a very good carry distance again. Yeah, just a fraction down that left hand side, not by much though, to be honest. Good solid strike. Again, launch just a little bit higher with that touch more loft. Spins controlled 289, so it's good. It's doing that little bit of that job, that lie, just maybe trying to take a little bit. Sometimes I have that little bit of left to right shape in there. So you can see that's probably just reducing that or just taking that out of my game. So this is a sort of process you would probably go through in a fitting session. You can use lie to an advantage. Again, another good solid strike. And that's just tracking literally fraction left of that middle line. And that was even with that slight heel strike. So possibly just that little bit of towing in, just benefiting, or maybe just taking a little bit of that cut shape out of my gamer slightly. Okay, so there's a few shots hit with the new C721 driver. That's pretty impressive in my book. Let's go and check a few numbers out. So we'll just start on that dispersion rings there, just for those two shots, or two batches of shots of hit. So obviously standard 9.5, we're pretty good on that dispersion, you know, a couple of slightly left, slightly right, but you know, I'm hitting fairways with those. As I've just upped that loft, increased that lie angle, you know, a little bit more upright, you can see I've just lost the right shot in those. I know I've only hit 3 shots there, but even that heel shot would typically probably give me a little bit of that typical miss up the right edge of fairway. You can see that actually stayed fairly straight and still pretty long. So if we look at the numbers there, you can see club head speed in and around that sort of high 111, just touching 112 on an average. Ball speed around that 165 on an average, which is good. Again, just moving strikes just fractionally around that club face, but good sort of ball speed numbers there. Launch good area, spin nice and controlled. For any of you out there wanting to know which shaft I'm using in that particular drive, was the Hazardous Smoke RDX in a 6.5. Okay, so that gave me some good control spin numbers. It felt very sort of solid, very stable, and some good distance there at 285. Average on the fly, run out 318. Obviously, run out's very dependent on ground conditions, simulators. You know, it's dependent on the ground conditions of what we can't dictate what its ball's going to land on, time of the year, slopes, and everything like that. But basically, the land angle coming in around that sort of 32 to 35 mark is pretty efficient. So that's going to try and release when it hits the ground. Right, so there we go. There's a new Tour Edge Exotics C721 driver. Great looking driver, a great sounding driver, and a very good performing driver as well. It's as good as anything out there. It's not any better than anything out there, but it's as good as. So price wise, these are, I believe, $399 US, 399 pounds over here in the UK. So decent sort of, or it's in that middle sort of price bracket in comparison to other sort of brands out there. Obviously some are a little bit more, some are a little bit less, aren't they? So push comments down below, let me know your thoughts. Tour Edge, have you got Tour Edge? Is that something you'd like to sort of go and try? The review of the 3-wood and the hybrid are going to come very, very soon. They've sent me those, so I'm going to film those now. If you watch this a little bit further down the line, they'll be all on my channel, so just go and check those out. But yeah, Tour Edge C721 driver. That's a nice driver. Okay, appreciate you watching the video as always. If you haven't subscribed and you've enjoyed it, please consider that subscribe button. Just on that little road to try and get to 50,000 subscribers. I'd love to get there a little bit quicker. So appreciate your support as always, and hopefully we'll catch up with you all very soon.